For me, the ongoing process of keeping your horse's body healthy is by doing a few basic exercises a few times a week. I like to show people how to properly stretch their horse. These stretches are not only diagnostic but therapeutic. So I'm going to ask this mare to stretch from side to side to her hip, and over time you can gradually increase the range of motion for the stretch. I always touch the place that I want them to stretch to and show them a treat because they are stretching freely on their own. That is an excellent stretch. She looks square backwards without dropping her ear. I want that pole to stay up and look directly behind her. Good girl. And touching them, they learn to move towards the place and make this complete connection through their body. Good girl. If your horse wants to step to the side, we're using a wall behind us. You can use a stall wall or an alley barn wall to keep your horse from moving away. And if your horse can only get that far to start, that's all you do. And you just keep building it a notch at a time until your horse has more flexibility. I do that both to the left and to the right, and sometimes you'll notice that your horse is a little stiff going that direction. It just takes time and practice. Now I'm going to ask Fancy to come down through her legs and as square as possible. That makes her stretch all the way up behind the shoulder blades. It's another way to clear out the space behind the shoulders. You did that good, girlfriend. Just to balance her out, I'll bend her to the right. Here, girl. So you can see the stretch. It'll stretch her whole body. Here, girl. Good girl. The next stretch I like to show people is the shoulder stretch. Earlier in the video, we showed how much tension was in the backside of a horse's shoulder blade. The way I stretch a shoulder is to ask the horse to pick up the leg, and I want that shoulder relaxed. So I just shake it into position until they just let the shoulder hang. And the area we're stretching is from behind the shoulder blade where the saddle sits all the way down through the tricep. I'm going to walk that leg out and just shake it loose. And I'm going to keep her leg parallel to the ground. My outside hand is behind the knee. My inside hand is just supporting the fetlock. I'm going to pick it up parallel and pull the leg gently into a stretch. That was on her own, and that's okay. When they're new to this and they have tension, they may be a little hesitant. There may be some muscular jerks in there. No problem. This is a process we build on, and she's already a lot more relaxed. I teach them how to do it. It's never about making them. It's about showing them what you want. And I lift it up. And then 2, 3. And you can see she's strained for that. It's a little difficult for her. So as time goes on, hopefully she can just put that leg out there and it will become easier and easier for her. I do it 3 times. Each front leg. Roll it out. There. 2, 3. Good girl. And this time, you got to keep her head straight, Haley. I'm just going to shake that leg down into just a slight forward position. The joints are loose. And I'm going to do a small set of circles that spiral out to a large circle. I do about 5 and then spiral it back down. It's the circles that turn off the Golgi bodies in the muscle and tell them to relax. Good girl. And hopefully we'll see that horse lick and chew, give us a release. I need to let that happen, and then I move on to the other leg. I will do something very similar with the hind legs. Many horses have muscular sore backs. And if you've gone through a saddle fit, massage, chiropractic, you're sure that you have no joint issues in the hind end, and your horse is still sore here, it could be because their psoas muscles, which lie on the bottom side of the spine, are too tight. The easiest way to address those is we're going to pick up the hind leg into flexion so that we unlock the stifle, and just as we did in the foreleg, we are going to circle that limb out and back down, and then bring it into a light stretch till we just meet the range of motion. During this process, I make sure the horse is very comfortable. I have them supported on the fetlock with my inside hand and the bottom side of the fetlock with my outside hand, and I keep my head clear should they kick or lose their balance. And here, I'm going to start circling the toe above the ground and build it out bigger. And if your horse struggles with this, just do what you can and build on it. You need to have them feel comfortable about their balance. And I'll do that 2 more times and then put the stretch in. If they'll allow it, let those circles become bigger and more fluid. It's almost always easier for them one direction. I'm going to bring the stretch forward. I'm going to flex that leg, let her adjust, and carefully just bring that leg down until I meet the barrier. And right here, I'm going to add just a few more circles. And there, let her just set her foot down. After I do those stretches, I'm going to do the butt tucks. There is a small depression you can feel about 2 inches from the spine. If you take your hands and make a triangle, place it over the dock of the tail, and keep your thumbs together and just let your fingers lay on either side of the spine. The hole should be about right there. I very carefully just step to the side and I keep my leg there. It would be very hard for them to kick me. And I just slowly sink in and then start a slow scratch. And with each pulse, right there she got uncomfortable, so I just hold till she gets comfortable. I'm retraining the body. That's okay. That's how a lot of horses start, because to stretch all that out is not comfortable. Good girl. There we go. You take it slow and show them what you want in the beginning. You'll be much more successful. Some horses have a difficult time bringing that lift all the way through the spine. You'll see a lot of horses stop about right here. They've been so sore in the shoulders that they just can't get it up the rest of the way. That's where I do the lift here, just behind where the cinch goes. So demonstrating from this side, my hands will be placed like this, fingertips up, like I'm a waiter serving a tray, right on the midline. So I step under the body like I'm lifting a box, lift my body up, and scratch and rock as I do it, and lift these ribs. I'll take a little bit more here, good girl, a little bit here, a little bit here, and now we're getting a complete lift. I will finish that with trapshooting the spine with a tail pull. Only do this if you really feel confident in your horse. And we've been working with her, and I think she feels pretty confident about me being back here, and she's a nice horse. I'm going to stretch that tail by wrapping one hand around it so I can make a support. My other hand goes below the dock, the bony part, and I'm going to slowly rebalance her, and her tail just adjusted, and lean into that, and I want her to counterbalance and lean forward. So I'm going to put a little pulse of energy and rock that relaxation through that spine and get her pelvis and her body moving. She's licking and chewing, and usually I will hold this for as long as a horse pulls against me. She's got all her weight against me. Good girl. We're getting some licking and chewing. She's got a fly in her leg. I think that's what that's about. And when a horse steps up out of it, I just call it done. And I may try and do one or two more and see how they respond to that. I'll lift again. And now she's lifting all the way up and without much discomfort. So I slowly rebuild the lengthening of those muscles. These horses are no different than us. Their anatomy is nearly identical. If we were to be on all fours and hollow our back like they do when they're sore, you would get incredibly stiff and painful here, behind your shoulder blades, and your low back. And when you are hollowed out, I look crippled. But when I engage my core and my sternum, I have power to coil and push off. That's all we want to do, is put the good muscles back to work the way they were meant to be.